And then the jingle singers said,
You may not find us on your TV, because in case you did not know, we're being brought to you by
OTR.
Brought to you by
27.085 megahertz.
Brought to you by RADI.
The Old Tube Radio Network.
brought to you by RADIO, the Old Tube Radio Network. This is a good radio day. It is 10/4/2025. I think every day this month is some type of a 10 code, and we've got the 10/4 going on today. Hello Radio, the Old Tube Radio Network. Real radio's glowing in the dark. Your radio's glowing in the dark. The purpose of which is to promote the use and distribute information about the Class D 11-meter citizen band radio service. Somebody wrote that long ago as the little opening segment to the Old Tube Radio Network. The shortwave listeners joining us in anticipation of the Old Tube Radio operators and collectors who will be joining us after the roll call to find out what it might have sounded like, or what it actually sounded like and felt like in the demeanor of your early on Class D 11-meter citizen band radio from 1958 to about 1978, when everything started going solid state. But it's still around, as anybody knows today. If you're out listening, the bands have been good, 10 meters, 11 meters, lots of contacts here and there, and maybe even locally. So with that, you'll notice, let me go to the other mode here. You'll notice we got, where is it? We've got the meter back. We've got the analog S meter back in the mix here. Now let's put something on it so you'll be able to see your reports, and we will get some early check-ins. We have a few off the top. SWL 61 checked in, also 650, and SWL 56 just for kicks. Who else needs an early check-in? Over.
24.
All right, Joe 24, we're getting you on the mix. Who else would like an early check-in? Over.
Break OTR.
Break OTR, go ahead.
Okay, just a brief, summary. We had the tram ready to go, and we lost the cap, smoked a resistor.
Oh, no.
Grabbed the CAM 88 that hasn't been on in a year, plugged it in, hooked it up. Hopefully we are working and sounding okay.
If the Cobra is what you are on, it is sounding good. Not good about the smoking resistor tram. I have been on my share of the everything is working until it's not, and there's a puff of smoke and some flame. So hopefully it only took out its own little self and will be repairable.
Yeah, the big can, that resistor comes off the big can, the electrolytic. So a resistor usually fails because it's getting the wrong voltage. And boy, did it get hot, but everything else looked fine, so we got lucky. It was on the Variac voltage transformer. We immediately shut it down, so it'll be an easy fix, but just making sure the 88 is still doing what it's supposed to.
88 is sounding good, and we are looking forward to getting it on the list.
Okay, thank you, and thanks for allowing me to interrupt the net. Okay, we'll be here listening.
All right, no interruption, looking good and sounding good.
Roger.
All right, I think that's Bozo Control on the mini scooter behind me. Let's go ahead and get started on the list. I've got 00 is here to get things started off. We will also get a check-in for SWL number 1, Dr. J, who knew how to blow up radios in his day. Here's the guy who knows how to fix the blowed up radios. SWL number 2, Mr. OBP, is out there. He is 9 pounds, good modulation, and chatting over on the video chat. So go over and tell Oscar Bravo Papa he is sounding good. SWL number 3, I got a proxy check in for Lone Eagle, Mr. Rob, and that'll take us over to SWL 5. That is Levon, Mr. Rainmaker, who is out here on the list. Probably he's got Old Radio Night dialed up as well. He's got Old Tube Radio in the right ear and ORN in the left ear. Next is SWL7.
Give him a proxy.
All right, proxy for 7. I'll keep an eye out if he jumps in on the chat here and turn it into an X. SWL9, Dirt Dog, I believe is out at the races. I got him checked in last night, sounding good from Sangertown on the Ditchbanks sideband net. So if you watch the replay, 982, we've got you checked in, and I hope the races were good tonight. And Tony says, you can interpret this how you want, but man, that tram was just smoking. Maybe not the way you wanted, though. SWL10, looking for the Jumping Dolphins or a check-in from northern Idaho. I will give Chrissy a proxy check-in. We're expecting that she might be in with 30 here in just a little bit. SWL 11, Mr. Cornbread, and SWL 12, Dapper Dan checking in. And I am, how are we doing? I'm looking dapper. We had the cleaning service come in. That's me in an apron. Come in today and polish up the control point. You can actually see, if you look up in the corner, you can see all the glowy lights are now blinking when I talk now. So that's a good thing. So 11 and 12, Dapper Dan, looking dapper. Looking dapper in front of the Heathkit there. Let's go to SWL 13. And 13 is sounding good. Sounding good on the crossband, sir. KB6 GFD, we got you checked in.
Thank you, Dan. Good evening to all the SWLs. SWL 13.
All right, 13. Mr. Cobra Mike is checked in. SWL 14 out in Sangertown also gets a proxy check, and they might be back in time to get in here, but we'll get them in now.
Right, OTR.
In fact, they might even be listening if they got the net turned on. They can hear things going on. The break OTR, go ahead. Over.
Yeah, good evening there, Dennis. I have some company, so I'd like to check in early there. 53 checking in.
All right. Well, thanks for remembering the Saturday night place to be, jumping in the air chair, and we will definitely get you checked in. You are sounding good.
Thank you there. Bye-bye.
Direct net roll call. We're on page 1. Want to say hello to Captain Robert, beaconing out to the Old Tube Radio Network and Bozo Control with emergency surgery. I don't know if that's good or bad. Hopefully it got taken care of, the emergency. You are in the air chair, which is a good thing, and you're at home recuperating. So it looks like they did okay, and we are glad you are here joining us tonight. I've got an early check-in for 147. Let me go to page 4 and say hello to Neil. Find out what's going on in Kakalaki tonight. Conditions pretty good to Arizona, Southern California till around 8:30. Wisconsin, Michigan, Missouri, all coming in. I was doing some testing on the SDRs, and even at 10 watts, the signals were sounding good. All right, Neil, got you in. Let me make it official on the chart here. And away you go. Also, we had an early check-in for SWL 64, which I will get, and some others which I will take when we get there. We are looking for, on page 1, made it to Sean. Oh, Hans, who is here, SWL 15. He's up early. He was at the beginning of the list up there. Hans, hello to you. It looks like a lot of things going on in Copenhagen this week. A lot of the suit and tie guys and gals hanging out there. They've probably flown away now, but looking good. Hopefully, we'll get some conditions to hear you guys. I'm on the wrong coast. I think to beacon out that way, but you never know. Mr. Nobody. Speaking of conditions, Mr. Nobody is waiting for conditions. Hang on. We didn't even have the mini grass pop in this afternoon. The skip sort of jumped out at 5 o'clock, but that doesn't mean that it will not come back. SWL 16 is in, Charlie. Everything's looking good. I like it's kind of getting blocked by the check-ins, but I like we installed the big S meter back in line tonight, so that will be fun. I know that's the heavy radio, but we got it in the shelf, and it's doing okay. Next is SWL 17. And Captain Robert, you say you may have to go before the meds check in. Yeah, if you see it looks like I'm standing on my head, I'm not standing on my head. That is indeed the medications doing what they're supposed to do. SWL 18, Mikey gets a check in from Facebook. The guy that checked in as 00 to get things started off on the cue cards tonight. Everything looks good. I see you. It looks like they re-upped the magic marker. You got the wide blade on that thing. I can see the words tonight. Thank you, Chet, all the way from Derby, New York, by way of Belfast, Maine, or is it the other way around? I don't know. I'm not sure if he's an unknown SWL or if he's in the air chair tonight, SWL 20. I think he said he would be away doing something. I don't know if he's at the fair. The big Fresno Fair, we used to be like the Fresno District County Fair 100 years ago, but now it is the big Fresno Fair is going on this week. The weekends are always busy with entertainment. Not sure who's there tonight on the big Paul Theater, or whatever they call it, but a lot of people locally. That's why it's so quiet. A lot of people locally out at the fair. The weather has been great. The Bulldogs are playing tonight, so things should be good. So, Harvey, if you're listening, we've got you checked in, and maybe we will catch you on the crossband or elsewhere. I'm checking to see if Old Radio Night
420 checking in
is
South
up.
Carolina, and then right after Jed.
Okay, yeah, he's there.
And then maybe Clawhammer can come in here and say something.
Okay, and we're going to head over to Old Radio Night.
All right.
And sorry to hear that we lost one of the players, Knotman out of Cottageville, who has checked in on this net as well. So we're going to join the gang out there in Kakalaki.
All right, this is SWL 21 in South Carolina. We're checking in.
Okay, and we're going to head over to Old Radio Night. Sorry to hear that we lost. Sounding good, everybody. So we're going to join the gang out there in Kakalaki. Think we're doing good. Sounding good, everybody. We got the live link between Old Radio Night and in the Wasama Swamps, and live here on the Old Tube Radio Network, Fresno.
Thank you, Dennis. It was real good there. Hey, have a good weekend. 21, I'm back out.
All right, thank you. Thank you, JT. Old Radio Night tonight in remembrance of Gabe Knotman out of Cottageville, South Carolina. Going to be missing hearing his check-in as well tonight. The Old Tube Radio Network. Station, this is the Old Tube Radio Network. Go ahead.
Evening time, Dennis. SWL 188 with an early check-in if possible.
That is possible. You are sounding good. I'll go to the page 4. 188 is up in the queue with the check mark. Sounding good. Over.
10-4. Thank you, Dennis. Apologize for not being in there the last few weeks. Been pretty busy. That's why I was trying to jump in here on the mobile real quick.
All right. That is one bodacious sounding mobile. Doing good and glad to have you in.
Perfect. Evening time to all.
The Old Tube Radio Network, Real Radio's Glowing in the Dark, direct net roll call, page 1 if you're playing the home game. 21 checked in, Just got a check in from 188, proxy for 20. Let's go to SWL 22. Shortwave listener 23, somewhere beaconing out there. SWL 24 got an early check-in out near the Big Giraffe, SWL 25. I'll get a proxy in for 25 and 74. SWL 26. Shortwave listener 27. I've got the crossband radio up just in case somebody's out in Studio G. Up the road we go to where they're having good weather as well. They always do with that Delta Breeze, SWL 28. Hello, Gary, if you're out there. Van is trying. There is no skip now in Kentucky. There was. I was hearing Kentucky and Missouri and Virginia. Everybody was sounding good when the sun was up. Gary says he's checking in. He stepped away from the wild game feed. Well, it was, nothing to nothing earlier. Tried the alligator and snake. He needs an RC. Yeah, you need like 2 RCs for that. Didn't touch the kangaroo. Turtle or the boar, to name a few. You know what? I hope they checked our culinary fare to make sure that nothing was on the endangered species list. Or we may have some people coming into the control room here not too happy about all of that. But if I were you, I would get the RC Cola and maybe a scoop of ice cream or something and be done with it. SWL 29, we've got a proxy check-in for Mr. Loner, and likewise for SWL 30. I have a feeling Dwayne and Chrissy will be in there momentarily. SWL 31, Robert and Teresa, I saw them checking in just as we started up the video feed on the net, so you guys are looking good from beautiful Hendersonville, Tennessee. They were, by the way, Robert and Teresa were one of the, probably there was a dozen when we first started doing the audio stream and the digital SWLs, and I checked, that was almost 15 years ago. They were one of the first ones, one of the first groups to jump in, and they're still hanging out. Good deal. Let's go to SWL 32. That is Rob, of course, checking in. Man, I was listening in to the California QSO party today on 10. Okay, lots of stations coming in from Texas on 20 meters. There's I think it's the Dallas-Fort Worth SDR. There's 2 of them out there. One at Austin, which is still probably a little too far away for us to do something locally at night. But they're not the best. They're not the best receivers. They've got like indoor antennas or something. I could just barely hear my signal, but I know the band has been open. So hope all is, you're getting acclimated back at the salt mines. And I don't know, looking forward to, or maybe not, the next episode that will give you another vacation. We'll see what happens. Anyway, good to have you along, staying up late tonight, 32. SWL 33, myself, Bozo Control, and anyone that might wander in. Speaking of wandering in, who is up? Who's up in the balcony tonight? Centerville, Virginia, coming up to you. Rancho Cordova, Belfast, Maine, Plymouth, Minnesota, Fresno, California. The unknown SWL. Let's say hello to Jimmy, SWL 34, Railroader, Captain Chaos, and all the listeners and watchers in the various Facebook pages that are attended by Jimmy. We got to CB Radio Lounge, CB Show and Tell, the Old Tube Radio, Old Tube CB Radio Network, fans of Sonar Radios, fans of Browning Tram and Sonar Radios. Hello to you. Who else might be out there? Antique CB Radios, pre-1977, fans of Demco CB Radio and related equipment. You Demco fans, do not tune away. I have I have a little secret. Someone told me we might have a Demco tonight. That means JT will be ringing the bell. Worldwide Sidebanders, Vintage CB Radio, the 11-meter CB Outlaws, High Fidelity CB Radio. Look, High Fidelity, guys, look up in the corner. You'll see the High Fidelity stuff going on. Amateur Citizen Group, the Alpha Charlies, Vintage Tube Radios, and on it goes. If you're listening or watching, coming in from one of those, hello to you, and hopefully you can do something similar like we're doing where you are at. Refreshing the page. Looking for SWL35, Mr. Bill. Red Mikey Communications was in last week from a cool Cheyenne, Wyoming. Don't see him in there right now. I'll give him a proxy check, but Mr. Bill will be showing up here shortly, no doubt. Let's go to 111, SWL36. Sometimes I have to look at my screen to see who has scrolled away. And there's one right now. SWL 30, 10 and 30. Hello, Dwayne. I don't know what happened to our short skip. We didn't even get Australia or Hawaii this evening. I see. Do I have the DX map? Let me see if I can bring the DX map up. It's just, you know what it is? It's just showing that there's a lot of stuff happening. That is, let me get to the maximum usable frequency. See, that's showing that 20 meters is still open as the max usable. I don't see any. It would be a different color. I don't see anything for 10 and 11 meters. So we're not doing too good. If we go to, well, we don't want that. We'll see what happens, but the bands don't look too great at the moment for long-distance stuff. Jake from State Farm, thanks for joining us. Gerald, hello, thanks for joining us. JG Mopar, thanks for joining us. I think Foxman is in there somewhere. Looking for SWL 37.
Give him a proxy.
Okay, I was dragging my feet. I thought he might have jumped in there.
Yeah, he's kind of tied up, Dennis. He's working on a ceiling fan in the garage there, and I think it's stomping him, kicking his butt.
Yeah, they can be easy, and they can be not so easy, depending on where you're putting them in. So, all right, we'll get him checked in. He will probably join us in a moment. There's the other DX map. And there's one notch somewhere in Nevada saying that 23 megs is the maximum usable frequency. So I'm not sure we have a storm going on or what's happening here. All right, proxy check in for 37. Let's see if Sam is out there. SWL 38. Go to SWL 39. SWL 40.
Well, SWL 40 here. I will not be mobiling tonight. I have radio problems.
Oh, no. Well, you sounded good earlier. I wonder, maybe it's going around. I hope you didn't have an exploding capacitor. Over.
Well, yeah, it's something to do with the sound, the receive audio on the radio is just not putting out a whole lot. So I may have a bad capacitor on the audio amp section.
Oh, all right. Well, see if you can troubleshoot that and get back to us. Anyway, you're here now. We've got you checked in. And I agree, Jake. 11 meters probably didn't renew their subscription. And who asked about what's 23 megahertz? I don't know. It's probably somebody was on 12 meters and made a contact or did something like that. And it registered somehow. I don't know. We are looking for SWL 41. Road Dog 507 from way out there in New York. And Sam, yeah, there's nobody in Australia to give you that DX check-in. We've got you. And Jesse, yeah, when you have a radio, the CB 11 meter Class D was 5 watt DC input. So if you can see 3 to 3.5 on an output, you're doing good. And on some of the radios that are the control carrier or the suppressed carrier, like the Regents use, you're lucky to see a 1.5 watts, 2 watts, because it's going to RMS bring you up to that 4 watt output. Let's go to SWL 42.
Good evening, all, and thank you, Dennis, for what you're doing. 42, and the gang is here.
All right, crystal clear audio, looking good on the S meter, and hopefully the repair will be easy, and it'd be easy to find. Sometimes the big can capacitors, if they're got multiple values, are a little bit tricky to find unless you can kludge one together. So anyway, looking forward to hearing that. Thanks. SWL 36, I see a Ken 111 with an X in the square. 36 is in. And Mark was saying he heard the greasy fried donuts. Yeah, I might have been on. Sometimes I slum on 40 meters at night. The band does weird things. It'll be super short and super long. You might hear me talking to my favorite station on one of the SDRs. That's Golf Hotel Zero Sierra Tango. But good. Anyway, I don't know if you're radioactive there. Did we make a contact? I have to check my log. Sometimes people jump in and it's like, hey, I know you. Let's go to over to SWL 43. SWL 44. I'm going to check Ray in. I didn't get a chance to actually chat with him Friday night, but he was sounding good from coming around the corner up there behind the hill in Dunlap and Squaw Valley. So if you're listening, Ray, or can hear me, you were definitely sounding good on sideband last night in the Ditchbank sideband net. A check-in for Paul and Kelly, SWL 45. Thanks for listening. Looking forward to seeing you guys on the airwaves. Let's go up to Wisconsin, SWL 46. SWL 47. All right, there's 44. And yeah, that's right. I forgot. Chris probably should be taking it easy. He's out in the garage and working on. Maybe that's why he's doing it. He's trying to get as many things done as possible because he's going to need to be recouping after Wednesday. But he heals fast. So good luck, and hopefully we'll hear Chris tonight and see what's that. So thank you, 44, for that. SWL 47. SWL 48.
SWL 48 checking in, boys. Thanks for doing tonight.
Oh man, you're sounding. In fact, you sound. I think you even sound better on AM tonight than you did on sideband. How is that possible?
I don't know. It's the radio.
Yeah, you've got it dialed up. I mean, this is the strongest I think I've heard you in a long, long time here on the amplitude modulated mode. Usually on sideband, you're not, no issues there. So good deal. I got you a big X. Over.
Roger. Thank you.
That's a decent signal. He is definitely not just down the street. Let's go to SWL 49. I got a proxy for Sweet Country Mama and Smitty, SWL 50. SWL 51. I hope Dave is out there right now.
Dave is out here right now, checking in.
Okay, I was looking to see, and now I can't. Doggone it! Now I can't find it. But Dave and I had a conversation earlier when I was testing, and boy, I'm looking to see if I can find it here. But anyway, I was testing into an SDR into I believe it was Wisconsin, And Dave comes in and says, I can hear you. But he was listening to me on the frequency locally I was talking. But he was so loud, he was louder than I was in the SDR. And also with the super looking signal. Well, for some reason, I'll do one more. Looking for my downloads here. Is that it? No, waistband. All right, anyway. We'll try it later. I got like 2 seconds of your, oh, wait a minute, here it is, of your audio coming through. Let's see if this is it. Here we go.
Enjoy what you're doing, and I'll talk to you a little bit later.
That is the voice of SWL 51 out of the SDR in Wisconsin. Here we go again.
Enjoy what you're doing, and I'll talk to you a little bit later.
This is super loud. Anyway, you get the drift. Thanks for checking in.
Thank you, Dennis, and we'll talk to you later.
Break OTR.
When you can sound better than net control and you're not even in the air chair, that is a good thing. The break OTR, you're off the ladder, you're in the air chair, and it is your turn. Go ahead.
Have you called my number yet?
We just breezed by. Someone said you might be on a project. So hopefully it's going better than you hoped. Okay, it's done for the day, but it's time for you to check in. Over.
Yes, I find it's working somewhat. So hey, I'm done with it now. I'm beat.
All right. Well, I was thinking you want to save your energy, but maybe you're just trying to get a couple of projects done. So when you get back and recuperating, you don't have to worry about doing anything, right?
Exactly. Well, we had in the living room, the ceiling fan, the chain broke inside that little mechanism, which you cannot replace that one thing. If it was the light, I could change it. The other thing has got so damn many wires, and they're all enclosed. So anyway, I had to go put a new ceiling fan up, and it took me all day. Of course, yeah, I can't stand very long, so I just up and down, in and out, whatever you want to call it. Just do 2 minutes worth or 5 minutes worth. You sit down, pretend, and back up and down, up and down. I just finally finished it. It's working. That's all I care.
Well, it's good. It's working. You have succeeded. So it's time to grab a Ritz cracker, some chocolate milk, and celebrate. Plus, you have an X in the square at the Old Tube Radio Network. I would say this is a great Saturday.
Okay. Well, I feel I had to get this done before Wednesday. For when Wednesday comes, I'm going to be down for a while. I will do my darndest to check in, but there's no guarantees. If not, Joe will check me in.
All right. Indeed. In fact, he actually gave you a pre-check-in and an update earlier. So I'm moving my proxy with an X with the official check-in. So thanks.
All right, Dennis. You take care, and thank you for being there. I'm beat. I got to go get in my easy chair and relax.
All right. Well, glad you got the project done and kind of be smooth sailing till Wednesday, and then we'll be looking forward to listening to you on the other recuperation side. You're a fast healer, so you'll be doing okay. Thanks.
Well, it took me a little bit over a month last time.
Oh, so you had practice.
Yeah. Well, you're right there, but it still hurt like hell.
It's supposed to. It's supposed to, or the doctor doesn't think they're doing their job. Thanks.
All right. All right, Des. Talk to you later.
All right, the Old Tube Radio Network, Real Radio's Glowing in the Dark. If you're listening locally, 27085 Channel 11, the Old Tube Radio Network, beaconing on Saturday evenings, starting at 8 o'clock since the mid to late 1980s. Yes, we've been out here that long. Our purpose is to kind of provide a little place for the tube radio operators to hang out and derive the radios around the block once a week. Make sure they still work, polish up the fins and the chrome, and that's what we do. Also, at some point along the line, we added some 21st century technology to this side of it, and by the way of audio streaming and some video and some other things. And one of our celebrities, Steve Areno, is out watching from the Bob and Steve show. You remember that? And good old Bob said, you know what? You need a shirt. And so got me my very own SWL 33 Well, you know, Bob always had the limo drivers dress appropriately, and so I think he was okay with me, the seersucker suit and the pocket protector. So anyway, Steve, thanks for joining us tonight, and it still fits. And I think I have a spare, so I can't get out of it. Maybe a couple of times a year I'll be out of uniform. Let's go to SWL 52. I talked to 52 the other night. He's working the California QSO party, CQP, I guess, and I heard him on 10 meters this afternoon on 430. I could barely hear him locally. He's like 6 miles away. He put up a hex beam, so he's horizontally polarized, so we have that going on. And I tuned in to an SDR. I don't know where it was. It might have been the Wisconsin or Louisiana, and he was booming in, and he was hearing stations here locally that I could not hear. So I got to let him know that his hex beam is doing a good job on receive, and he was at about 150 contacts, early this afternoon, I think. So I wonder where he's at now. Let's go to SWL 53. Oh, 53 checked in early. I got you, Bob. Sorry about that. We got a proxy check in for SWL 54. Let's go to SWL 55. SWL 56, just for kicks. It's got an X in the square. That takes us to SWL 57 out in central Kentucky. I'm going to make sure that he is not scrolled off my screen. And wait a minute, Bill, what is better than Packet in the 1980s? That's where I started. I got one of the first. It was probably the late 80s. One of the first Packet AEA PK, the 232 AES 232, and that, believe it or not, is where I met Rob SWL 32, who was I think doing one of those what they call unproto CQs, where you would before the nodes you would they call it unproto, but you would link a node to a node to a node and then attach a message like CQ. And I saw his beaconing CQ coming in from Southern California, and I think it said board, something like that. So I did the same thing. I said, let me do that. Let me do the other way. And that was our first contact. And then he turned me on to some of when he moved out of state, where they could do a cross connect from 2 meters to 20 meters or something. We had a lot of fun on the early days of AX25 checksum handshake packet radio, which I'm not sure what it's like these days, but I did. I had fun with that. Was that the FT8 of the of the 20th century? I don't know. Let's continue. SWL 57. 4 hops. It was something out of Riverside, and it was Fraser, the KB6C1, and there might have been another one locally here. I don't know, but I think there was 2 for LA. I could hit from Fresno all the way up to Fraser Peak. It was about 150 miles, but I mean they're at about 8,000 feet, so it was pretty fun. Let's go to SWL 58. SWL 59, Uncle Hairball. Oh, right there. I thought I saw you earlier, and I was going to write things down, but you are right now checking in and checking out and catch the replay. All right, so live. He's live, and now he's not live. Let's go to, if there's a break in the game, SWL 60.
Hello, Dennis. Hello, everyone out there on the band. SWL 60 checking in, and the score is 10, Fresno State, Nevada 3.
Oh, we're at 10-4 today. Oops, we're at 10-4 today, and the score is at 10-3. Can they get 1 point? Then it'll be a 10-4.
I doubt it. That would take some doing. Maybe a name call or something, calling the referee a name. Maybe they give him an extra point. But right now it's Fresno State 10, Nevada 3.
All right, well, we're on the good side of the score then, so not a problem. You are sounding good. Thanks for the check-in.
You're welcome, Dennis.
All right, I'm adjusting my chair. I'm kind of in a different spot. It was better. I reconfigured things so it's easier to get to. I got rid of the foot switch. I got rid of the other item. And so anybody watching the video, see the less contortions today. And hopefully that will be a good thing. We never know. I'm sure I'll end up breaking it. Thank you, Joe. Let me make you officially checked in. Dino, sounding good tonight. We got him checked in. Let's go to SWL 62. Shortwave listener 63. SWL 64. Craig in Wisconsin checked in at the beginning of the video, and I've got him checked in. SWL 65. From vertical to horizontal, SWL 66. If I go to Studio B over here, we should see a hello radio from SWL 67. Yeah, Bill checking in about an hour ago from Canby, Oregon. He said it's starting to get cold in the morning. Well, see, cold for you guys. It was 60. We are no longer getting the 75-degree overnight temperatures. It was only 76 or 77 a day, so we're in a little cold spell, but heck, it is the beginning of October. We had some rain last week. I listened today. The high temperature, the record high temperature for the Central Valley here, for Fresno, was 103, and that was last year. And this year was like 73, so the weather can be wacky. Thanks, Bill, for checking in. Let's go over to SWL 68. And 68 was in as well on the early check-in, so I will do that. Over to SWL 69. That's Kenny out of Tulsa. Somebody said to get Kenny checked in, and I will do that. And don't forget the two radios are coming up in moments. Let's go to if he's not out enjoying whoever is at the Paul Theater at the Fresno Fair tonight, to SWL 70. All right, maybe out of the fair getting a corn dog. Get one of those $10 corn dogs. Private Thor, hello radio, and the gang up there. Man, I tell you, 40 meters at night, all I need is 5 watts. 5 watts to get up to you guys on 7 megs most of the time out there in southern Alberta. Man, it's just a perfect NVIS. I wish we had that kind of conditions here. SWL 71. Stan, let me see if he's jumped in out of Dallas, Georgia. Not sure if he participates in the California QSO party, but Stan, if you're listening, we will get you checked in. SWL 72. SWL 73.
Give the old 73 a proxy.
I will give him a proxy. He might be doing some California QSO things going on. Who knows? We'll get 73 in. I've got the crossband up. We just might hear him on his way to or from a concert. SWL 74, Miss Jilly has a proxy. Over to SWL 75. Shortwave listener 76. It's out of Johnson, Rhode Island. Let me see. Sometimes he will be on this side. Hello to, who just joined us? Middletown, Ohio. Hello to you. Over to SWL 77.
SWL 77 checking in on the old school bus.
The wheels going round and round. Sounding good. I think the Rolodex is working tonight. Get some pictures of that when we dial up the audio as well in moments. Thanks. And there is 76. SWL 70. I know we got that delay. We got that digital delay that makes everything go slow on the Universal Media Netweb. I see you there RFO, Red Fox 1, out of Johnson, Rhode Island. I have got the, it says you're checked in above my head. Let's go over to Wild Wildemar, and I did see Richard in there earlier, SWL 78. Where does Wild and, what is it, Taco Night? Taco Night and OTR Night. What more than you can ask for? You got some refried beans and tacos and all that stuff. I don't know. I like tacos, but I like them like very, very mild and plain. And then I don't like anything else that goes with them. But taco night is okay. So if they have like a make your own thing in the green room, I am in. Looking good, Richard. I don't know if I'll jump in on 40 later on. The band has been going long, really early. The sun goes, it's getting those winter time. The sun goes down and the band goes at ways, but I don't know. Maybe we'll try it after the net here. International Taco Day. I don't know. I know it was 10-4 day, so it was a good day for radio. Let's go to SWL 79. Oh man, somebody tell Philip his radio's ringing. I'll get an X in the square. He was in on the cross band and here on the AM. I like that. Tacos in 10-4s. SWL 80. SWL 81. SWL 82.
82 checking in from the Ditch Banks of Biola. And yeah, happy 10-4 day. I believe Jimmy Carter in 1978 proclaimed this CBs are good day or something. Anyway, good evening.
And good evening to you. Sounding good on AM. Last night on sideband, the Ditch Banks sideband net. Join us. Join Ron on the net if you can on Fridays at 8 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, at least for a couple more weeks. Get your lower sideband capable radio and go to 27365. And if you're not on the list, it doesn't matter. There's a place to check in for visitors. We get people from near and far out. So that is a good thing. I was thinking you'd be at some races or something, but you are in the air chair and sounding good. Thanks.
All righty. Yeah, we're watching them on TV. We'll call it the cheap seats, or we're right up front here. So anyway, it's all good. All right, Dennis. Thanks for doing the net.
All right, putting in a good signal tonight on AM. The band is really quiet. I haven't heard one peep of. Now you might be hearing Australia, but I haven't heard a thing tonight. But so I'm hoping we'll get some of the short sporadic e-skip and hear some of our old tube radio friends up and down the West Coast here. Thanks. Over to, where are we going? SWL 83, JZ. And, who asked it? Does the FCC go on vacation when the government shuts down? You know what? They actually do go away, I believe, because I work kind of in that business where you might need to talk to the FCC. And even Aaron was saying they're not processing forms for licenses, and I think if you can do anything on their website, a lot of the stuff is probably going to be sitting on hold. I don't know what they do with field services, so they're pretty much on their a little holiday for a while there. So a little bit. All right, we do that because we know they're not watching now. Let's go over to SWL 84 and we'll get a check in for the Cheerios Kid, the Mountain Maid, Tandy Girl, and the Snowy Owl. That's 84, 86, and 88 respectively. Let's go to SWL 89. Got a check in for SWL 90. And Felix, I saw in earlier SWL 91 when I clicked the the dial up here. So I will get Felix checked in out there, way out there in the Bronx. So Felix, if you're listening from afar, watching the replay, you are officially checked in. SWL 92. SWL 93. Did he come by early? No, I think that was last week. I can't remember. I'll hang on. I'll hang on because Leo might come by. SWL 95. Yeah, then you're right, Richard. That's where they get the money. Actually, they get money from commercial broadcast stations that are owned by large corporations when they don't do EAS things right. They get, hundreds of thousands of dollars for that. And then they have the $2 million fine pending for pirate radio stations or those entities that assist pirate radio stations, whether they be landlords or whatever. So that's another place they like to get a lot of money. Whether they're going to get $2 million out of them, I don't know. But yeah, if it's big bucks, they might come out of hiding. If it's this kind of stuff and they're going to give you a $5,000 NAL, they're probably not wanting to do that. 95. Yes, I did. Did we see 95? 95. Let's go to SWL 96 in Kokomo. And Rob, hello, from cool Colorado. Poor E-skip season. Yeah, all summer. I agree. This is actually, if you go to 10 meters the last week or two, even though the A and K index have been kind of the 10 has sort of picked up, and I think that's just the fall stuff. But the E-skip has been really disappointing on cycle 25 here, at least this year. But we'll see what happens. Because Rob he's been beaconing for years with the massive antennas pointed towards the west here to the meek and mild Old Tube Radio Network, and he often raises his hand and say, I can hear you guys. I hear you checking in, so he is listening. Let's go to, let's see, no Kurt. SWL 97, is Jim out there? SWL 98. Get Tracy checked in. Did anybody see the the write-up, as it were, on the Ditchbanks CB thing? I don't know. I'm assuming that might be an AI thing, but I got a chuckle out of that. It made me look good. So anything that makes me look good, even the radios look good. So Tracy, thanks for reminding people of the Saturday night place to be, and you are checked in. SWL 99. Well, Randy, I know we're not going to hear direct because we have no skip, but he might jump in on the list. Okay, the next thing we are going to do, if we ever do it, will be getting a check-in for our tubes on the air activation, and that will be with SWL 100 Tony, KD4BAO, KB6GFD. Take it away, sir. Tony checks in on the Universal Media Netweb via Echolink.
Good evening, Dennis. Please check in SWL 100. Good to hear you. Back to net control, KD4BAO.
All right, Tony, I hear you. Thanks for jumping in on the Echolink. Give you an X in the square and about ready to activate tubes on the air and without mishap, without any exploding capacitors and all that good things. Thanks for jumping in. KB6GFD. And while we were on the Echolink link, let's see if we can get Albert, KI6CBA. Hello, Albert. If you're there within the sound of my voice, take an Echolink transmission. What is going on in Sparks? Over.
Hello, Dennis.
Oh, good audio.
I see the modulation meter working really good. And I also want to say hi to my shortwave listener friends out there, and hello, radio. And it's hotter than heck up here. And unfortunately, I got to do you on the YouTube or on the Echolink here. So, but we'll someday be able to connect to you. We're just still working on that antenna. But I'm going to check out and wish you a good night, and also looking forward to the radios. Okay, 73s.
Looking forward to the radios, as am I. Well, we're going to send you some cool weather up that way. Maybe a heat inversion or something. Sounding good from Sparks, Nevada, here into Central California. Nice audio tonight on the Echolink 73, and thanks for checking in. KB6GFD.
And KI6DDA, Reno. Good night.
All right, and I heard somebody on the crossband, but I don't know if that was for OTR or not. Let's continue with SWL 102. Hello, John. All right, you always have to do your performance behind the Echolink, guys, but that's good. That's a good follow-up. Everybody tunes in for the Echolink. You have what we say in the biz. You have a good lead-in. And everybody used to like to be, after Bonanza or Jackie Gleason, or, one of those lead-in shows. You've got the Echolink lead-in, so people are tuning in. John, you are checked in. Joey, SWL 103, is checking in just moments ago over at oldtuberadio.net. I see you, Joey. Checking in 103. Refresh the comments and actually get you checked in on the big page here. Looking good. Up the hill, SWL 109. I wonder if he's out there. He might be involved at the Fresno Fair. Who knows?
Good evening, Dennis. 109 Crawdad checking in. Not involved in the fair yet. That starts going on there Monday.
All right, so getting prepped for the fair. It's always a big draw. A lot of people go and they pass up the corn dogs and head over to the FFA section and see what's going on. So good deal. Thanks for jumping in tonight, and have a good time next week.
Thank you, Dennis, and hopefully I will have a good time. Hopefully I do pretty good.
All right, indeed you will. Thanks for joining us on the Old Tube Radio Network. Continuing on, we are on page 4. The radios are not far away. SWL 110. From beautiful Millerton, where there is water, SWL 111, live and direct before the program, before the net. Because there wasn't a lot of skip, I was able to talk to Robert and get a honest-to-goodness check-in. And the big Fresno Fair, I do believe, has cotton candy, candied apples probably, corn dogs. They used to have fried, the fried stuff, the fried Twinkies and all that. I don't know. I am not, when I was involved in the TV station, we had a booth, not a booth, but we actually had a big stand there. We were broadcasting the news live. So I was there for many a year. But taking a break now. Let's go to SWL 113. Shortwave listener 114. Hello, Wayne.
114, checking in.
114 sounding good in the neighborhood. Thanks for checking in.
Thank you for the check-in, Dennis.
And another one of our long-time digital listeners when we started doing Old Tube Radio something, that would be John, 128, checking in from all the way in Fairfax, Virginia. Saw a couple of 4 stations this afternoon calling for CQP. I did not fire anything up and give out some points for FRES County because I kind of didn't want to. I didn't want to do a log, so I just listened in. But that's okay. Thanks, John, for jumping in. Let's go to SWL 131. Shortwave listener 133. Over to Mr. Green Arrow, SWL 135.
Yeah, hi. SWL 135 checking in. How's this working?
It still be working. Over.
Phew. That's a good deal. Oh, and happy 10-4 day to everybody.
It's 10-4 day all day, at least here on the West Coast. We've still got 3 more hours of 10-4 day. And then I don't have my 10 code in front of me. And then it'll be 10.5 tomorrow. What was it, 10.5? Oh, that's a relay, right?
I think so.
All right, yeah. There's going to be a number for every day, so it should be fun. All right, radio is in the wings, waiting, and it's hanging in there. We won't make you wait too long. Thanks for checking in. Yeah, sometimes some of the old radios that haven't been on in a while may not like to stay on. We want to make sure we get them in before they decide to do something bad. Now, we didn't make the tram, unfortunately. KW and Dennis were working on getting the tram up, and that had an issue. But they went into the closet, of radios, and found another one. So we listening for that. Let's go to we got to check in for SWO 137. Then we go over to SWO 145. Hello, Tony. Tony from the Early Risers Net. I believe he left me some questions. We'll get to those here in just a moment. So, Tony, I'll get you checked in. Neil, SWO 147, needed an early check-in, which we did. SWO 188, Bobby, Mr. Snowbeast, needed an early check-in, which we did. And then up the hill, where life is beautiful all the time. And what does the song go? Life is beautiful all the time. I'll be happy to see those nice young men in their clean white coats because they're coming to take me away. Hello, 195.
195 checking in, Dennis.
All right, Starliner up there looking good and sounding good. The band is just great tonight. We've got an X in the square.
Thank you, sir.
And let's see, what's that? Napoleon the 14th. I should give credit to those lyrics. Let's go to Mr. Shockwave 226. He might be listening from Mariposa. Let's put a proxy in. And anybody else? Did I miss somebody or somebody wants to jump in and say hello, radio?
Hello, radio.
All right. Well, the rumors that you were out and about were true, but the rumors that you are in the air chair are now also true. The number 20 is getting an X in the square, and hopefully you will have some time to get the, whatever, is it taco night over there?
It just may be. I'm going to go out the kitchen, see what I can round up, get something to eat, and then I'll be back a little later.
Okay. Hopefully you can hear me better now.
I could hear you before.
Well, good. All right. Well, I got rid of the foot switches and other things, and so there's less wackiness going on. Less resetability. We will see what happens.
Got rid of the foot switches. Now, what are you going to do with your feet?
I don't know. There's something. They'll think of something around here. Sounding good, sir. Don't go too far. You know what? Stand by for a minute. I'm going to jump to our questions, which I have not looked at all. Not sure if they're apropos, but here they are. Here's our questions before we go to the Tube Radios, the old Tube Radio Network. All right. Number one. This is multiple choice. What tube was suitable for VHF transmitting use? All right. Well, we're not quite VHF here. And I don't know. I suppose 6 meters would qualify as VHF. It's right that's the beginning of VHF if you really want. But 2 meters and 440 and all that. So, and I do not know the answer to this. What tube was suitable? Because I never worked on any of that stuff. What suitable was for VHF transmitter use? Our choices are an 892 Bravo, that's A 6 Sierra November 8, I don't know, it says ampersand, I can't believe that would be a tube number, but it's a 6 SN question mark, that's B. Choice C is a 6 Alpha Delta 4, a 684, or D, a 183. So these are tubes you might find in a VHF, an older VHF transmitter, an 892B, a 6SN question mark, a 6AD4, or a 183. Anybody ever opened up a a VHF radio. I think I have one here. I have like a 150, and it might have tubes. I should go there and pull the top off. All right. Well, here it is. The answer is an 829B. So anybody have an 829B in the tube caddy? Don't give it away. That might work for your 6-meter radio. For the preamp. All right. It says, suitable for VHF transmitting use. So in the preamp. Thanks, William. Number 2. This is not multiple choice. What part of the early Model T Ford car was used by hams as part of their spark transmitter? I never had a Model T. What part of the early Model T Ford car was used by hams as part of their spark transmitter? Well, that'd be spark gap, which is... So I'm sure it had to be some type of a coil or something, right? I don't know. Harvey, did you ever make a spark gap transmitter for a science fair project?
I'm old, but I'm not quite that old. I would just assume there was something in the ignition coil.
What are you guys doing?
Yeah, that's what I would think. The ignition coil, magneto. The answer says the wood-encased trembler or buzz coil. So that sounds right. Some type of coil to produce lots of electrical stuff, electrical bananas for your spark gap. All right, that is all I know. I'm going to jump out for a couple minutes here to get the tubes ready and fired up. When we come back, it will be that time. Glowing in the dark, the things we do best here at the Old Tube Radio Network. All right, don't go away. Out of the air chair for a moment. All right, I'm going to switch over to the tube radio audio stream, so we're going to reconnoiter here, so stand by. And we're going to try and get everything up and running without massive double audio stuff, but that always happens, so we'll see what happens here. And then we will be ready to go. Good. Over to number 2, audio insert. I gotta recalibrate that. You can do likewise if you just re-up the stream. And there you go. You can do likewise, all right? That's the confirmation that we are on the air everywhere. Switch to the REA meter, and then say, I think it's that time again.
You may not find us on your TV because in case you did not know, we're being brought to you by
OTR.
Brought to you by
27.085 megahertz.
Brought to you by RADI.
The Old Tube Radio Network.
All right, the transmitter looks good tonight. Looks like we're hitting those negative peaks a little bit hard, but it sounds okay. I don't think I'm getting any distortion. Nothing like Motor Mouth Mall. Have you ever watched his REA meter? He kills that thing. He smokes his REA meter, but sounds good. All right, into the control room here. Hello, everybody. We are back. It is time. Let me clear that out, to do what we do best, and that is listening for and talking about the tube radios. We will clear the rigs, but we will put up some more listening for your check-ins. Over.
135, 135.
135, Mr. Green Arrow, and as you heard, it looks like Harvey is back in the air chair. He might be listening from afar, but he is listening, no doubt. I have got everything set to go, and we are ready for your radio check-in. Over.
Me or Harvey?
You. Over.
Oh, okay. Okay, first of all, am I feeding back?
No, I do not hear any squealing with your audio.
Okay. Because my little magic eye is flickering just a little bit. Maybe it's the crickets. Can you hear the crickets? Who knows? Anyway, let's see. From the Demco Radio Corporation of Bristol, Indiana. You can clear me up on that. I'm not sure what the official title of Demco is. Is it Radio Corporation? I think it is. This is the Demco satellite. No super, no deluxe, just the original Demco satellite. Let's see, there are 15 tubes altogether. I'll explain that. See, there's 5 in the transmitter, and the rest are in the receiver, and then there's 2 additional tubes, which makes it 15, in the Demco modulator, which I have on right now. The Demco modulator is just a 2-tube push-me-pull-you kind of audio amplifier. Makes your microphone louder and sound better, as we may demonstrate here at some point. There are all 23 crystal-controlled transmit channels in the transmitter, but a VFO for receiving in the separate receiver. The microphone I'm using currently is the Turner Super Sidekick, which I hope sounds okay with this thing, but it looks like it belongs with the radio. You know, it's got the black and chrome, the chrome head. So, visually it just really makes it. Oh, yes, and because this is October and we're beginning the series of Magic Eye Spooky Radios, the Magic Eye du jour is the EM87. That's Echo Mike 87. Modulation monitor, it says there on the transmitter. Back to you.
Back to me in the studio, and I think I've got the right photo here. It's the Magic Eye tube is the one that's horizontal. It's horizontal in the case on the transmitter. Let me pause one and say good evening to Captain Robert as he goes to La La Land. It says the meds are kicking in, but that's good. They're supposed to do that. So thanks for joining us. And this will be a good radio to count sheep and go to sleep by. So it's in the nice picture. It's sort of serene in the background, and the Demco satellite with let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, as you said, 5 pieces. Oh, we are in the old picture you have, the picture from, not old, but the picture you have from years ago is actually showing in D104, but I think you definitely have replaced, as you said, the microphonium. So you are good. There is a little bit in the background. If you're looking at your Magic Eye and you see a little bit of wiggling, it almost sounds like you have a fan or something running in the background, but I think it's that oscillation trying to come in, but it's not quite doing anything. not coming in with your audio at all. But that's probably what you see on the tube and what I hear in my headphoniums over.
Oh, okay. So it's like just what, right on the edge of howling or something, but it's not quite doing it, eh?
Yeah, it's more like almost like a wind noise. It doesn't sound screechy or anything like that. You can just tell there's something going on in the background, but it doesn't affect your voice. It's not adding a buzz. It's, in between when you talk, it's not going, nothing like that. So you're good to go.
Okay, this is as good as I'm going to be able to tune it today. Audio. Oh, and it's back up to its normal wattage. And I'm just, again, the teensiest bit high, 0852, 0853. Audio. Yeah, so, maybe it is, I'm not going to mess with it now. So let's do a demonstration of the Demco modulator real quick. It is currently in line and on, and now I'm going to take it out. Okay, this is the microphone going through the Demco modulator, but not being affected by those tubes. Audio 1, 2, 3, and let's put it back in, shall we? Audio 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. There we go. What did that do for or against my signal?
Good deal. I've on the quad split, so if you watch the replay, you'll be able to see the Orban audio loudness meter show what happens, and it does drop a couple of dB on the level above or level under full scale, and you'll be able to watch the S meter and see the resting carrier go to where it goes. But notice that the forward movement is about half of what it is when you have the compressor limiter modulation, the Demco modulator. I'm not exactly sure if it was a limiter, compressor, both, what they did in that, but it definitely does do what it's supposed to do. Looking good. And Dwayne wants to know what microphone you just give us that again. And it doesn't have a lot of, with or without the modulator, it doesn't have a lot of low frequency, but when you turn the modulator off, it almost sounds like you're on a phone patch.
Yeah, that's what I was hearing when I was listening to myself on the walkie-talkie, that it sounded real nasally, real pinched, like I was doing this, and yet I wasn't. The microphone is the Turner Super Sidekick, which again, cosmetically, at least goes with the radio really well. Yeah, I used to have that D104 hooked up to it, and then that thing was very trebly. Yeah, if you think this is trebly, the D104 was super trebly. So Harvey wired this thing up for it because, hey, these things are famous for actually, not having a lot of highs. And I did a couple of auditions over the air, and the general consensus of the audience was that they liked this one better. So I've just stuck with this one. Was there another question?
Well, let's see. I've got the close-up on, so there is receiver and transmitter. The transmitter should be the one with the Magic Eye tube in the center, and we're looking at the pictures I scroll through. The bottom on this stack is the two knobs, and that is the Demco modulator. Microphonium goes into the modulator, and then there's a cable out of the modulator that I believe would go into the radio. There's the speaker, which is pretty cool. It's big satellite, and then above on the top, and you mentioned what that was. So you answered the question for the microphone. And tell us again what the meter, or what the you had a name for it, that's above the speaker. Over.
That is the little SWR watt meter what comes with it. It's been a long day. It's a tiny little thing, but it does actually work.
Yeah, all right. And then, Richard is saying if you were able to, you could do an audio frequency sweep on the radio and then do it through the modulator and see if the modulator is actually restricting some of the audio or something, or not the audio. It almost sounds like there's a impedance change or something for that much of a difference between in and out. Let me go back to the control. That's not me. Let's go put your picture in there. Looks good. I like this is the ultimate shack picture, because not only do you get the satellite, which is super cool, and of course all of Cliff's pictures are done. If we ever made a calendar, that we'd be using these pictures, but you've got the what looks like maybe the Mark II behind it, and then one of my faves. I know that shape. It's a Helicrafters, and I don't know if it's a I don't know what number it is, like an HA-44 or a 150, but it definitely a Helicrafters behind there. Over.
Oh yeah, it's probably towards the left. If I remember correctly, it's still up there, incidentally. I do listen to you guys on it occasionally. That is the Helicrafters SX-122. And I don't know if the matching speaker, which will be to the left of that, I don't know if that's visible, but it's there as well. And the Browning, yeah, that's the just the regular Golden Eagle, R68 T68. Which should be up above this thing. Trying to get as close in on this radio as possible, but it's like right now. I have the meter off to the side instead of stacked up on top. It just doesn't work that way very well. And this thing is pretty much taking up the whole table, as I'm sure Sean or Harvey or anybody else with these things can tell you. They do take up a lot of real estate when you lay it all out. Back to you.
Comment?
Indeed, you can stack them if you want. I don't know if they're convection cooled, but you've still got the speaker. I really like the Buddy has the same thing where you got the transmitter, receiver, and the speaker. And the comment, go ahead, over.
Dennis, it sounds like the shield and the audio wire are reversed, and of course that changes the impedance, and the element is actually pulling instead of pushing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, there is are you able, Cliff, to do the Demco on-off again?
Yeah, and I think you're talking about phase. Yeah, it's probably out of phase. That might have something to do with it. Another thing I can do is I can take the microphone out of it and go straight into the front of the radio.
Oh, well, that might, yeah, because I see the mic jack is there. That might be something to try while we have you on and we're recording and doing some other things. But, yeah, I've got, my audio processing gear always has phase reversal. And then on the REA meter, let me bring the REA meter up. If you're anybody watching, there's that positive, negative, the asymmetry in the center. So if I go out of phase, and I don't know if it changes my audio, but that will go below zero. Instead of going above zero, it'll go below zero. And sometimes you can't hear it as much, but you see the phase difference. So Cliff, yeah, if you want to try a microphonium change, I mean, that is what the OTR does. We help you out or record your stuff so you can listen to it back. So if you want to try the microphonium switch, go ahead.
Okay, this is directly into the front of the transmitter. Audio. I don't know if it's making any difference or not. What do you think? How does it sound? 1, 2, bubbling baby broth. Oh, wait, that's Brian. How does that sound?
Oh, wow. Yeah, there is absolutely no low frequency going on at all.
Is it the same as the bypass?
It's pretty close to the bypass, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, at least we know now. I'll put it back in.
Okay, but there is no, when you're amplified, there's no of the noise or the oscillation trying to come through. But I don't know, still could be some type of wiring wackiness.
Comment?
Yeah, go ahead.
Now, usually, if it's a polarity issue on the element, you lose all the bottom end, correct?
I'm not exactly sure, but it sure sounds like there is something happening for that much of a drastic, especially on The Turner microphone? I would, a D104 with the crystal element, yeah, but that microphone, I don't know.
And does he have another mic to see if the issue is still there?
When he plugs back in, we'll find out, because I'm not sure what the wiring is on that. If it's similar to something that he has that would work without blowing it up.
Comment on myself?
Yes, over.
Okay, I'm back into the modulator, but no, other Dennis, I currently do not have another mic wired up for this.
Okay, because, if it was still there with the other mic, then it's not a mic issue, it's something with the equipment. But if it went away, then we know we got a polarity issue.
Yeah, and there's, audio coupling caps in the radio. Those change. I know the audio guys actually pull them out and change them on purpose to allow more low frequency in. We just got to be careful you're not adding a 60-cycle buzz. Demco satellite, I think this is, somewhere it's on there, it's called a CB1, but pretty cool for the fans of Demco. Got your radio on there tonight. It's been a while since we've had one. Transmitter's got the Magic Eye tube. We're looking at it directly in the radio, and it's telling you true. 23 channels, crystal controlled on both. No, I'm sorry. You are crystal controlled on transmit, but tunable receive. Is that correct?
That is correct, sir.
What's the issue?
Well, I don't know if we have an issue, but there's a definite audio discrepancy in the low frequency with the microphonium, in or out. So is it just the way it is? Is it a polarity issue kind of thing that's cutting out the low frequency, or is it just the radio itself?
Okay, well, I wasn't going to say anything, but it's got that sound like it's about to do some sort of feedback. It's got that weird sound to it, right, Dennis?
That's correct. And as Cliff mentioned, when he is doing the tune and load, if he does it as per proper, which is you're dipping the current, when he gets to that point, it will go into full-blown oscillation. He actually has to kind of tune it out of that. So there is something in there that's probably not getting the handshake.
Okay, the radio's got a problem with the tube sockets grounding. You got to make sure where it's supposed to be grounded, it's a good ground. That radio really had bad issues. I thought I fixed it all, but I didn't go over everything. I just got it to sound good, but it's going back into that. Sorry for the cough. But I could hear it. It's right at the verge of doing it. And when he's tuning it, he's right. I mean, you got to get it just right.
We are in the middle of a radio, but I hear you, and I heard you today on 10 sounding good
the
on
grounds
the
around the audio
X-Band
tubes also can do that.
Very good, thank you, Dennis.
We just got to go back through it again is all. Anyway, I heard it, but I was eating dinner, and I wasn't going to say anything, but what the heck.
All right, sounding good. I think you were at about 150 when I heard you. 73 KB6 GFD. Okay, I'm back taking a check-in on the crossband for Aaron and listening in. But it's good. It's sounding, I mean, we're not squealing, so we're sounding okay, but there are, when you get multiple pieces with the modulator and what's going on with that and microphones into that and cables out of that, it gets a little more challenging. Anyway, Cliff, we're going to go back to you. It is your radio, your nickel here, radio number 1, the Demco Satellite CB1, 5 pieces, as they used to say, no waiting. Back to you for transmission, but we appreciate bringing it by and getting us started out on the month of October with those spooky Magic Eye radios. Over.
Okay. Well, just on the verge, huh? Let's see. Just a second. Okay. Audio. Did that help at all, or make it worse?
It's about the same. It's not squealing, but it. I think you're a little better than when you first came in, but it is not. I know I heard it when it was oscillating all the time, and it is definitely not doing that.
Okay, I just thought I'd. Yeah, it's probably a change in temperature and everything too. Everything starts drifting and shifting. It's getting chillier out here, which is nice for the radios, but it does change them. So, okay, I guess that'll do it. Audio. Yeah, oddly enough, the frequency output, the transmit frequency has not changed since I hooked it up about 5 o'clock this afternoon. So that at least one thing is really good and stable on this.
Yeah. Could be a temperature problem. Take a thermometer and stick it up its coax and take its temperature.
Okay, I'll let you do that, and I'll just watch.
Comment.
Comment, go over.
Another thing, too, I know the Turner Super Sidekicks purposely were engineered with not as much bottom end or bass because they're actually engineered for sideband, not AM.
So yeah, you might have to, sit lower in your chair or something. Anyway, you're sounding good. You've got plenty of replay if you watch the YouTube video or check into the. I think the audio stream is still available on the archives to listen in, and then work from there. Over.
Okay, well, I definitely will be listening. Hey, Harvey. I'll give you a call sometime, and we'll see if we can figure this out. Almost ID. With that, thanks, and we'll see you next week with another weird radio that probably isn't working that well.
Well, they are all tube radios, and that's a good thing. Before you go, key the microphone like once or twice, but don't say anything. Someone keeps saying something about a ping. But, if there is a noise, it may just be that oscillation coming and going. But I don't think I hear that. But go ahead and give it as if you were pinging a Browning Eagle. Over.
Yeah, I see a little flash when I key up, right at the edges of the Magic Eye tube. So it's making some kind of noise. I thought that was just a relay clack.
Yeah, it's not consistent. I think the last two times it's the relay clack, your hand on the microphone aim clack. So I think what he was hearing at the beginning, when you had a little more oscillation, it was just the beginning of that. So that's a Demco. Definitely not pinging, although it could, because it's a separate transmitter and receiver. You'd have to go in and wire some sort of capacitor thing like they have in the Browning. I know some of the Buddy basses did that as well with the separate transmitter receiver. All right, doing good. Someone 78 saying check the arrow. It's like putting in a filter on your on your HVAC. Check the arrow on your coax to make sure it's pointing the right way.
I'll do that. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention the receiver meter. Measuring all of its S units, goes into the green. This is another one of those odd radios that doesn't go into the red, it goes into the green. So I just thought I'd bring that back up, and everybody have a good 10-4, what's left of it.
All right, 10-4 on the 10-4. Thanks for bringing by the Demco satellite CB1. Reminds me of KOX 1095 West Coast React. They brought the only other station that was in Manhattan Beach when I was starting my CB career back in the 70s in high school. Ran one of these radios, and man, was it loud on Channel 9. Working the freeways, working those, the 405 and the 10, and doing a good job. The jingle singers are way overdue. We'll put them on, and then we'll be listening for radio number 2. on your old tube radio network. Oh man, they don't take a cue, do they? And here we go.
How do you do, ladies and gentlemen? Greetings to you, wherever you are. Your favorite slot on the dial by far is known to you as
OTR, the Old Tube Radio Network.
the station for you is
OTR.
Listening for Radio 2. And maybe a score. Maybe they got it to 10-4 on the Bulldog game.
Break OTR.
And Richard, I agree. Before cell phone to react was like the Freeway 911. It was certainly down where I was in Southern California. I want to say hello to Foxman, who jumped in, cooling off the radio room tonight. 362, getting out of the air chair and listening to the Old Tube Radio Network, the breaking station. I hear you. You are going to be radio number 2.
Alrighty. So before I introduce the Cam 88 by B&K, a quick question for you, Dennis, or anybody in the chat, or Harvey. Is there actually a manufacturer, a company, that is still producing those big electrolytic capacitors? Because people have to be careful, like myself, that they're stating they're new, but they're actually new old stock. And with that type of capacitor, if they sat on a shelf for all these years, that capacitor is already done. So is there somebody that is still actually manufacturing those capacitors?
Let me check. I'm going to type in real quickly. I think it was called Hayseed. But they are specific to like Hallicrafters, Heath. If you've got the Universal Media Net Web, type in Hayseed and capacitors or Hayseed ham and see if they've got a site. I know they made specific, and I think they're redos that work for the Hallicrafters and the Heathkit and the Drake. So it's all the old, but they're the high power capacitors, but they might have something. So give a check out to Hayseed. Tom Belay says check DigiKey. Of course, you probably have DigiKey and Mouser. And I know Panasonic's probably still in there too. Over.
Okay, and I'm pursuing this because if there's anybody out there, I'll try and save them all the trouble and understand that just because the ad, especially on eBay, says it's new, it's more than likely new old stock, and they do have a shelf life, even though they've never been used. And a lot of times you'll see MF or UF. MF and UF mean the same thing, but if it says MF on the capacitor, it was made before 1962. After 1962, they changed the standard and put UF. So that's really important that people know that.
Okay, good information on that. Sort of like megacycles and megahertz. If you see MC on a radio dial, it's old. Rob 32 was working on his Robin and had that issue, and he says yes, things are still available. And Richard, I haven't seen one of his videos in a while. Mr. Carlson's Lab has a really neat CAP ESR tester on his Christmas list. Yeah, that's something I need too. So that would be good to look up. Just Radios in Canada. Okay, Rob says also check Just Radios. JUST, Just Radios in Canada. Over.
Yeah, I buy all my parts from them. But it didn't look like they carried those big electrolytic. But I'll do some more research. But thank you, and thank you to everyone in the chat. Now we'll get back to business. This old Cam 88, the story, I'll keep it short and sweet, was my father's radio that when I was a kid looking up, watching him shoot and skip with a Black Cat modulator and this radio, and I found it in my sister's garage a few years back and brought it to Harvey and said, go through it. This was my dad's radio, and I want to check it in on OTR, and I want it back as close to 100% as we can get it. And Harvey did a wonderful job, and I experimented with it on one check-in and put a bunch of audio gear through it, and it passed all the frequencies without any problem. It even surprised you, Dennis. It's just a really cool radio, and I got a real big attachment to it, and I was so happy that we brought it back to life, and I can check it in. So it's on a stock non-amplified D104 right now, and the modulation light is blinking brightly, and hopefully it sounds as good as it looks, because it's in beautiful condition.
Dennis?
It sounds as good as it looks. Cobra, B&K, Dynascan 88. I'll put a picture up here with the big knobs and the meter, and then we're going to ask you a question about the switch, if it has one under the mod light. And Harvey, you have come to the right place, because there's two Dennises. Ask your question.
CE Manufacturing bought the equipment in Mexico that Mallory was using when they went out of business. They were producing capacitors in Mexico. Vintage equipment they were using, and CE Manufacturing bought the equipment, moved it back here, and is producing capacitors. You have to kind of find them online and see what values they're doing, but they're using the vintage equipment that Mallory used, and from what I've been seeing online, people are happy with what they're doing. So that's one company, and then there are one or two other ones here too. Okay, thought I'd let you know.
Okay, so that means they're pretty close to the USA Mallory quality standards. So yeah, that's pretty cool. That's where I'll go.
Roger. Well, they purchased the equipment, excuse me, and all the specifications for doing the caps. So they're basically, I guess, doing them the way Mallory did, but probably making sure that the quality control is 2025 standards.
Don't say that. That scares me, because I'm sure the standards that Mallory had back in the day were much better than what's expected in 2025. But you know, I mean, they're allowed to sell Chinese crap, and we all buy it and soon regret it. But okay, yeah, it sounds like a viable place to look into. Thank you, Harvey.
Roger. Back to eating dinner.
And the Cobra Cam 88. I'm showing two pictures. Not the best. I bet yours would be a better looker. The mod light, and then there's a mod light and a switch. One has it and one doesn't. So I'm assuming this is a upgrade, perhaps, and I wonder what you've got on yours. Over.
Yeah, this would be, I guess, like a Mark II rendition. The earlier ones did not have the switch. You just had whatever modulation passed through the radio at that time of manufacturing. The earlier version, this does have the switch, which is called a Dynaboost, and I will turn the Dynaboost off, which probably cuts the audio about in half for close local communications, and I will turn it back on, and that would be no restriction, basically letting the audio just move through the radio at a happy pace.
Indeed, I was quick enough to get the S meter up to see the movement, the Orban meter, and just to your ear, you could tell that it was doing what it should do, similar to what we were hearing, of course, with the Demco modulator, maybe on a little bit bigger scale. And as you mentioned before, we have heard this radio in future episodes when you were on the hi-fi setup, and indeed, its coupling capacitors are in good shape because it lets a lot of the low frequencies through without buzz or anything else. I've got a close-up on the knobs. We've got fine tune, volume, squelch, and PACB. You've got to have that good old vacuum tube audio amplifier in there for your PA goodness. I'm looking to see if I can get a tube complement, and I do not have it, but it's probably a 12AX7 in there somewhere. Take a transmission. I'll run the. I've got the other radio, so it's easy to run the lower sideband 0 beat. See where you're at.
All right. Hopefully it's close. Yeah, it does have a 12AX7, and on the squelch, it has a standby switch, which allows all the tubes to stay warm, but all the other electronics are shut down. If you just want them to sit there and stay nice and toasty, or you need to warm up the living room, you can put it in standby and all the tubes just sit there and glow.
Just like your favorite Christmas tree, 0 beat at 27, not 20, 278466, so about 330 low, which is well within FCC tolerance. I certainly can't tell any difference. And when you key up during Skipland, it'll sound like a tube radio, and it makes that heterodyne.
Yeah, and it's got that, great sounding speaker, and it does kind of look like the front of a school bus, like a lot of the guys say in the comments. And the other thing that just is really cool is, man, it's got a big slam relay, and it makes the greatest sound when you key the radio down.
Makes that nice clunk. I remember some of the guys used to mount the relays to a board so it would snap, make some type of snap, but getting crazy. Oh, looking good. Radio number 2, Cobra, B&K, Dynascan. I think there was a 98 and 88, so these were the last of their big style radios before they started doing solid state items of interest. And as we mentioned before, anybody doing hi-fi radio, here's one you should look for. If you pump your Julius iBox, or you've got one of the other audio equalizer boxes or something, this radio will work it well. Thanks for bringing it by. Back to you for another transmission, and it's doing good.
Right on. And not a lot of people can say that they're talking on the radio that their father talked on back in the day. So what a gift. And yeah, I'm kind of curious. Maybe I'll go down that road again, and we'll put a Neumann U87 on it and see what it sounds like. Hey, I appreciate it, Dennis, and I appreciate everybody out there far and wide. And 77, otherwise known as 1017, 73s to everyone. I appreciate it. Bye.
All right, yeah, get a microphone that costs 10 times more than the radio. Great story on the radio. Occasionally you come across those, even with automobiles. I used to have this radio and I let it go. And somehow I bought this thing and it had the same mark, and it was my radio from years ago. And your story is like, well, you know exactly where that radio was and what you heard on it long ago and what you're hearing on it now, and it still works. And it is sort of why we are here, because a lot of us who were around back in the original early tube CB days, whether we were on the air with radios or not, or with people that were on the radios. That's what we're recreating for those who may not have had a chance to be there. And so here's the deal: not only is it giving us a taste of what it sounded like, it was the radio that did it for you. So great stuff. Thanks for bringing it by.
Thank you. And Jerry says thank you very much to you and Harvey.
How do you do? Ladies and gentlemen, greetings to you. you are, the friendliest station for you by far is known to all, and
OTR, the Old Tube Radio Network.
the station for you is
OTR.
I love how the jingle singers are so cordial, addressing us all as ladies and gentlemen, whether we are or not. Anyway, we are listening for your tube radios and check-ins here at the Old Tube Radio Network. And maybe a score. Are we past 10-4? And enjoying the nice quiet frequency tonight. Wishing we could get a bit of the E-skip. Let me, I know I have the DX map. Let me bring it up. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, nothing on the MUF. Let's go to map number 2, and I think it's still showing. Oh, it's, let me back out a little bit. Not much going on there either. Looks like 20 meters is still in. The orange is showing that there's some 40-meter activity. Nothing on the high frequencies whatsoever. The East Coast is doing good. So we'll see. Sometimes we outdo the maps. We know what's happening before the map does, listening for your radio.
60.
Hello, Joe. I'm penning up to Radio 3 tonight, and I'm just wondering if, did the game conclude, or is it nail-biter, or none of the above? Over.
Far from a nail-biter. No, it's still going in 20-3. I know it don't sound like much, but 20 for the Dogs sounds good anytime. 20-3, that's, they got that one in the bag, like I think the old expression goes. Anyway, Dennis, I'd like to check in from World Radio Labs, my Hustler base.
Leo Meyerson, WRL. Got a picture here somewhere. Let me go to the full screen. We've been checking in some large radios tonight with separate transmitters and receivers. Top-of-the-line Cobra radios, and here's something that WRL put together. I think they figured out they could get 7 tubes and give you everything that everyone wanted, at least a couple of channels, a tunable receiver, and an S-meter, and make it look cool so you could bring it in the house. Back to you.
Oh, that's something. 7 tubes, boy, that's a winner. Doggone it, let me make a few adjustments here. I guess we're okay. But anyway, 7 tubes, about that many channels. I guess about 8 channels. Obviously, channel 11, the main one. We've got a lit speaker here, the one for the meter. Light kind of glows over to the speaker side, little 2x2. And I guess it's a light, not a modulation light, I don't think. It flickers on its own, so it must be letting us know that the radio's keyed up. Has your volume or squelch, an extra slot for an extra crystal there, and you've got your channel selector, your fine tuning, which I've had the pleasure of doing there before I keyed the radio.
Yeah, I just popped on the preamp to get your signal up there about S9. And yeah, it's probably monitoring some current, some voltage somewhere. So when you talk, something happens. When you get a little extra juice going through it, it'll let you know that you are on the air everywhere. Always good audio with that. We are showing it with the wired as purchased Blue Microphonium, but you have installed, and correctly, I might add, because the audio is nice. I think you said the amplified Microphonium. So doing a good job with the Hustler. Over.
Yeah, well, doggone it, we can applaud Harvey for that. did a beautiful job in installing the mic plug in the front, because this cord came from on the bottom of the radio, and I'm on a Turner Plus 3 gray bass, my favorite microphone. I've always liked this microphone, and that pretty much does it. It has all its hardware. It's ready to either hook up in a car. It's a couple of minutes, take a couple of screws. Right now we're not mobile, but we're running AC on it. I think this one will go mobile too.
Probably, if it has the right cable, it would have to have. If it doesn't have the DC to DC transistors, I think it's got to have a vibrator in there somewhere. So, anyway. You got to know for sure before you try that, but you sound good just sitting in the driveway, sitting in the air chair here, so not a problem. We've got it checked in for radio number 3, a fan favorite. Not many on the air, and I think in all our almost 40 years of being out here, the one and only Hustler. We've had some World Radio Lab Globes and a lot of those radios, but not this one. So we're glad it's around. Thanks for bringing it by.
Well, thanks, Dennis, for letting me key this one up and enjoying it another weekend there for sure. Because most of the time she's on off position, and that's not like the way we want it to be. We want it to be out here doing its natural born thing. All right, Dennis, I'll be out of here and on to another one.
20.
And 20, step up in the air chair. I wanted, before you come in, I wanted to see if I checked the Rolodex to see if we have a picture of a Swan 500 CX. Not a great picture. Let me bring that up. They were talking about it on the chat. And what we really need is a Siltronics to check in, which is basically made by the Swan company. They weren't like a 500 CX, although they look very similar. You get the Comanches in there. But there it is. And so talking about the drift, anybody that had a Siltronics 1011B Comanche, the D, the Siltronics plane, same thing. When you got on sideband, and Kevin used to do this, he used to leave it on for a month. He said, well, if you leave it on for a month, it probably won't drift. Probably won't drift around, but there it is. And I think did the 500 have something to do with the DC input? Still some of these on the air. I don't know if it's more of a favor. We like it on CW or not, but Real Radio, made in the USA, and they were one of the like Leo Marson, like we just heard, World Radio Labs. Swan kind of snuck off to the side and did some Class D stuff that looks very, very similar to that. Harvey, we're heading over to you. Over.
Okay, do my Beagle, and that should do it for me tonight. Little tired, little hoarse throat here, nay. So that should do it for me tonight. I will be available next week. And, oh, wait, I forgot. Oh, I don't have it in my pocket. Phil's radios. Okay. I will do them next week. I will be here next week to mention more about his radios that he's getting rid of. Because he's thinning out the herd. Phil, number 56 is just fine. Okay. Anyway, I'll let you go. Gotta take something for the throat, and we'll catch you next week.
All right, good deal. Yeah, save your voice for next week. We'll go through the list, and locally, if you're been listening in for a long time and don't have something on the radio shelf, this would be a perfect. When you come back next week, perfect time to listen in and pick up something here locally. Not have to worry about eBay shipping. Add to the collection. We'll see what's going on. So the radios are all, if you go to our archives back, and we've got probably on the audio side 15 years of them. I don't know about the video side, but you will hear probably a lot of those radios checking in and out. Thanks, Harvey. We've got radio number 4, the Browning. Oops, the Browning. I'm going to make that. Radio number 4, the Browning R68 T68. I'll get it out. Anyway, have a great evening. Glad you made it back to check in. Over.
Thank you much. Golden Beagle out.
60. All right, we're at the bewitching hour, but we've got plenty of space on the radio, so take a transmission and tell us what you got. Over.
Thank you much, Dennis. This one here is one of my stationary radios. It's definitely AC, no DC. From Waseca, Minnesota, my Johnson 223.
All right, the 223. What microphonium do you have on that? Over.
Dennis, this would be the original Johnson desk mic. Same color as the radio. Not non-battery. No switches to pull on this one. You just got to get up and talk on it.
Indeed, that's why I was asking. So, how far are you away from the microphonium right now?
Right now, we're about 8 inches, 8 to 10 inches. Basically, using it almost like a hand mic. We've always been about this far away from it.
Okay, yeah, I wouldn't go any farther away than that. Of course, the band is quiet. We're not in skip. Not amplified. Doesn't need to be. That may be one of those microphoniums that works better when you are a little bit closer, but the audio is good. The clarity is nice. And here's another radio that was anybody that was around in the late 60s and 70s, and you were on the air talking to anybody, more often than not, you could go to any channel and any group, and there would be somebody would have this radio. Back to you.
Oh, most definitely, Dennis. All 23 channels transmit and receive there for sure. We've been real happy with this radio, and doggone it, it does have a well-lit meter and a well-lit channel changer there, and a good-sized 4x4 speaker. Volume, well, basic, and I should say, well, like I say, it's strictly AC, and I guess it was designed that way. It had its purpose, I guess, in time, maybe to be like a shop radio, because it's not going anywhere.
I think you're exactly right, because Browning had already had the Messenger 2, the Viking. At this time, they were coming out with the mobile radios, the 323, the 123. They were all solid state. And they really didn't until they went to the 250 and the Gold Edition when they solid stated things. They really didn't, I guess, need to change this up. Haven't heard from, I think it's Larry, Radio Ham Guy, who checked in a long time ago but used to work at the E.F. Johnson factory in the 1980s. He said it was a great place to work, and about the only thing he said they ever had issues with on the radios or things coming back was the crystals drifting or being off frequency. So before you go, I'll do the sideband zero beat and see where that crystal is on that E.F. Johnson. Over.
Oh, I appreciate that, Dennis. Doggone it. We don't know if it's drifted. I don't know if it's with us or drifted off to another location. But doggone it, we enjoy this radio, and right now all 10 tubes are burning, and all 23 channels are transmitting, so I hope she hasn't drifted too far.
No, in fact, if we were doing a contest tonight, your radio is probably the one that's closest to 27085. You're down by about 70 cycles. So it's good. It is not living the fame of the crystals on an E.F. Johnson radio produced from 1969 to 1972. Our Radio 5 tonight, the E.F. Johnson Messenger 223. It has its own catalog number, 242-223E. Originally sold for about $200, and if you wanted to buy add the cool E.F. Johnson microphone, add another $15 to that. Look for it on Sam's book number 23, page 53, or There's a schematic at oldtuberadio.com or maybe right here on the Old Tube Radio next week. Thanks for bringing it by, Joe.
Thank you for letting me check this one in, Dennis. And yeah, it was nice to get this microphone in line with this radio because they kind of go together. Okay, Dennis, thanks a whole lot there, and we'll be listening.
All right, we'll be doing some counting and amounting soon because it is that time. But, of course, the jingle singers always remind us that it's not too late to check in your radio.
You're tuned to
OTR, Channel 11,
right here in
Fresno, California.
Stay with us
Old Tube Radio.
and be modern.
Well, Dennis, if you've got a minute, I'd like to check this one in.
Yes, I do. I was here counting and amounting, and I will put that to the side. Nice audio, and this is sounding good. So we'll go back to you, and I'll put a picture of something. I bet it's a robin of certain sorts. Over.
That was a good guess. I thought you were going to hit the nail on the head there. Dennis, this is my Mustang 2. Mustang 2. Doggone it, she's a Citizens Band transistor. Doggone it, Protec. I don't know how you pronounce that. I can't see it. But it is my Mustang 2. 7 tubes, 8 channels.
Metrotech. Mustang. I think I've got the Mustang, but not the 2. I'm trying to think where I got the picture the last time. Let me tell you, like I said, the audio is great on the E.F. Johnson. It's just a little low. It's not at 100% modulation. When you switched over to this one, it is clear and loud, and as they say on two-way radio, full fidelity. So let me get a shot of the Mustang, and I'll see if I can find a Mustang 2. But this'll do for a while. Is it? Riddle me this. Do you have a tunable receiver? Or is it click stop tuning?
Tunable receive, Dennis.
Okay, probably very close to the Mustang we're showing here. And then how many channels selectable on your transmit?
Well, I've got about 7 altogether, 8 with the external little box here in the front here, so you can put another crystal up in front of it.
Okay, very similar to the standard Mustang. Nice audio. What was the microphonium again?
This is the original Mustang microphone, stock mic, white. I think the bass, well, kind of looks white, and it's not as bright in here as it should be, but it's like a beige color.
All right, good deal. Sounding good, but that reminds me of the General Radio Telephone supplied microphoniums that are good. No low frequency loss, no high frequency weirdness. Nice full audio. So that one is certainly a keeper. That might even garner its own little dust cover.
Yeah. It's a nice looking microphone, and it's in line with the radio. There's no changes here. The plug's still coming out of the front of the radio. Now I remember the other radio, from World Radio Labs, that had to have a mic cord change, but this one comes straight out of the radio, right next to I guess it's trying to find my way around the dark here. Around the channel selector, it's off to the left of it and coming out of the radio.
Doing well. I've got, but it's not transferable. I had an image of the Mustang 2 radio, and it is different because the Mustang that we're showing doesn't have an S meter, but your Mustang Metrotech Mustang 2 does. It's, it almost looks similar to what's on the Hustler, huh?
Almost similar to the one on the Hustler there, except that this has the 4 knobs at the base of the radio in a vertical position, and the other one, the Hustler, has them in a square, 2 up, 2 down.
All right, I got a quick picture. Anyone looking at that, courtesy of CB Tricks. There's the microphone. You've got that nice convection cooling holes in the top. How does this compare heat-wise to the Robin? Can you cook your steak on this thing?
No, you know what? You may have to turn up the burner if you're going to cook a piece of meat there. It for 7 tubes, it's running pretty cool. I'm not burning my hand if I leave it on top. I wouldn't hold my hand on top of the grill of the Robin. That's a whole different burner there.
What I was thinking, this one has some nice airflow all the way through it, and a nice little crystal socket for that Channel 11 quick flip on a Saturday evening. MetroCheck Mustang 2. Thanks to CB Tricks for getting us a shot here real quick, and thanks to you for bringing it by over.
Oh, thank you, Dennis. Doggone it, it's a pleasure. I just love seeing these radios lit up here in semi-dark room. They just take a guy back in time. I just like the old look. That's what I like. You don't have these digital meters, frequency counters. These little guys were just made to operate and transmit. You didn't have to do all that to them. Technicality, you didn't have to worry about that. I just like what I see here in front. Okay, Dennis, thanks a whole lot. If it doesn't cost another dime, I'd like to key up my Robin 23.
All right, I'm working on the final counting and mounting here, so we'll make a space for you on, where are we at? Radio number 7, and then we'll probably be calling it an evening. A lot of people staying up with us here on an early Sunday morning. The Old Tube Radio Network here on the West Coast, where it's 15 minutes after 10 o'clock Pacific Daylight Time. And the Jingle Singers, they want to do one more? Okay, let's dance our way out of here with a little cha-cha music. That would work.
What are the magic numbers?
27.085 megahertz, channel 11.
Are the magic letters?
OTR.
Right here in
Fresno, California.
Radio Magic.
Old Tube Radio.
For you.
I love that.
People were probably doing the cha-cha back when these radios were brand new in the living room.
Could you imagine getting one of these brand new for Christmas?
I don't know. And the prices, most everything, with a few exception, was in the $200 range or more. That was, they ain't cheap.
Nope. Yeah, I can remember. I must have been 9 or 10 years old, and it was used, but my dad got me a used T-Berry and a brand new Antenna Specialist Super Scanner, which was an electronic switchable beam antenna, or it could be a ground plane. Really cool antenna. And a 36-foot push-up and RG8. And I was on my way, man.
A Super Scanner. I still see occasionally somebody says, I got what do they call it, new old stock. And I remember the stations would have those, and I think they would switch them while they were transmitting, which you weren't supposed to do, but you hear the thing go crunk. You look at your S-meter and say, it'll go down a little bit. Kind of a neat concept. And especially you think, well, it's not the big front to back ratio, but I was in Southern California in the 70s, early 70s, and there was a lot of stations on every channel. And so if you could get any type of front to back or side ratio, because you may have somebody 2 blocks away and somebody 6 blocks away, and 10 stations that are right in the next city, having that little bit of forward gain or side rejection was a big deal. Not everybody could put up a stack 5, which would really do the trick. I bet Joe, unless something happened in the game and he's peeking at the TV, he's got a radio for us. I'm thinking that game got good all of a sudden. Okay, the jingle singers. They want to do the long one. They want to do. We've got some time here. We can we can do that. I think. Let's try it.
Oh boy, 60. Sorry about that, Dennis. I was on the wrong switch.
I was going to say, I thought maybe the game got good, and you were watching some touchdowns.
No, I think the dogs pretty much took this game. We'll see a little bit more about it there in a little bit. But anyway, Dennis, I'd like to check in my last radio for the night. And Christy, if you're listening, the Robin 123B.
All right, I know Dwayne's got the radio on. Christy, as usual, is kicking up dust and making a storm in the house. So she's listening from afar. But she will appreciate this next radio. I'll get a shot of it if I got it. Yeah, I got the pretty green one. Go ahead and take a transmission over.
Well, Dennis, doggone it, they built this like a Cadillac. She's got a full tank and a big motor. She gets plenty hot and she's ready to go. Dennis, we got 11 tubes, 23 channels, all transmit and receive. Plus about 9 more channels, just in case we need to do a little searching in the radio business.
The probably most popular before Uniden took over, this Panasonic 2 chassis, making its way into the 40-channel era, but not quite. Giving you all sorts of things that you might want but never use, like an external speaker or a PA, Put that speaker in the jack in the back. It's got the amplification for the microphone in the radio itself. You can bring your standard D104, and what we mentioned, you can cook your dinner on it.
Well, you could cook a medium steak on this guy for sure. Speaking of external speaker, that has a light, so we know that it's on when we're transmitting on it, working on it, or maybe a little thing there for Halloween, kind of scare the kids. Modulation lights are flickering. PA has a light. The TX has a light. RX has a. Boy, I'll tell you what, she's got a full tank of gas, boy. She's loaded. She's got a meter adjustment in the back. A very fine external jack in the back there of the large one, not the small one. It's got the large one, and it also can be tuned, tweaked, and peaked right from the back.
Tune and load, that's what Cliff was doing earlier, and I think his were on the front. But it gave you, and that was nice they did that, it gave you the option to adjust that, even though I think the FCC kind of wanted these radios to be non-adjustable. You turn them on and you do your thing. But, you know, after about 15 years of this, the manufacturers knew better. They knew that people were taking the covers off and doing stuff, so why not make it easy? You are radio number 7 with the Robin T123B. It is sounding good. You've worked the room. Thanks for the updates on the score. And back to you. I can do the. Let's do the frequency check before you go. Another transmission, please. Over.
Oh, thank you much, Dennis. No problem. Easy. Transmission check here. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2 3. Everything functioning on this end. I guess this range expand is on position. Preamplified D104.
Sounding good. You know what? This is pretty close to the Mustang, but I think the Mustang might just have a couple of cycles on this one. This is right at about 85. It's a little high, 85 100, but doing good. Over.
Well, we appreciate it, Dennis. Doggone it. Appreciated you letting us check this one in. I'm glad she's doing fine. But at that, we'll leave it, let it go till next Saturday. I appreciate you letting me check the radios in.
And I appreciate being here to do it. That's my job on a Saturday evening, is to make sure that the proverbial radio door is open for the shortwave listeners to say hello radio, and for our old tube radio collectors to, like you said, jump in, put down the top, and drive it around the block. Time for counting and amounting. You're listening to the Old Tube Radio Network.
Listen in your office, in your car, or even your neighborhood bar.
That's where I listen.
Listen with your whole family.
And then the one I was expecting, so I can get out of here, right?
Ladies and gentlemen, time now for the current OTR totals.
No matter how hard I try, there's always some technical thing that's going on. All right, you guys did good. The jingle singers are done for the night. Mr. Announcer is done for the night. Chat, no cue cards. I've got everything I need here, and Charlie is getting some plates ready for the green room so we can have a little snack here. Radios. No, let's go SWL tonight. A total of 77. We are in week. Where's there no... there it is. There was no dates on that. We are in week number 5, right? At 10-4. Good 10-4 day. 18 on 21, 21 on 2, 16 on 3, 22 on 4, 77 SWL's radios tonight. I think there was a 7-way tie. Started off with the Demco Satellite CB1. Definitely our heaviest radio tonight, and definitely the most tubes if you count how many are in the transmitter, receiver, and the 2 in the Demco modulator. Although I would take Harvey on the Browning R68 T68, which I think might have 17, but we've got that modulator that's got 2 more, so we'd have to have a countdown on those. But anyway, Cliff, thanks for the Demco tonight. We haven't had one in a while. I know there are some people that tune in from the Demco Facebook page, and I've been tapping their foot saying, where are the Demcos? Where's the Command Electronics? B&K Cobra Cam 88. What's the story behind your radio? Especially if you've had one for a long time. Do you remember? I like this one. Anyway, thanks, Dennis. B&K Cobra, always sounding good. And glad that it's back on the air where it's supposed to be in the 21st century with some great vibes. As the tribes would say that occupied this land long ago, some great spirits in that radio. WRL from Metrotech, the Mustang. I'm sorry, the WRL Hustler I'm getting ahead of myself there. The World Radio Lab Hustler, thank you, Joe, for the blue radio number 3, radio number 4, R68, T68, the Golden Beagle. Thank you, Harvey, for jumping in. And we'll be back next week to find out more about the radio collection, some of the radio collection that will be up for sale here in the Central Valley. E.F. Johnson Messenger 223, the flagship, the workship from E.F. Johnson from 1969 to 1972. Thank you, Joe. Also, the Mustang 2 Metrotech, radio number 6. And the Robin T123 Bravo. Sounding good. We've got everything, and I hope we made everybody happy. I know I am happy. Good night, everybody. 73 from your old Tube Radio Network. The bands have been pretty decent, although not in the evening. I really thought we would be hearing Mr. Nobody and Dwayne and some of the other stations that beacon in here, but we'll have to try next week. But don't let that keep you from getting on the air. 72 plus 1, the old Tube Radio Network. Next time.
Dennis, Nevada 17, Fresno State 20. Not looking good. 5:40 left in the fourth quarter. Oh boy.
Yeah, what happened to our 10-4?
Well, for a minute there we were 10-8. 10-8 and smoking. I don't know about the 10-4. All I know is that they're about a field goal from tying this game up.
Uh-oh. All right. Well, to the sets and the chant of, what do they say? Go, you dogs. Thanks for the update. All right, I can't believe I didn't manage to blow it up tonight. Try to simplify things here. And another nice quiet frequency. Richard says the night isn't over. While I got the receiver up, and I'll get an update to the score, and I got the antenna. I think I can do this. Let me do some bypassing here. I'm not going to transmit, but I want to see what's going on at 40. I don't know if the California CUSA party is still going on, but typically they'd be here at night. All right, let's stop at the top of the band here. No AM, guys.
791 Texas.
Okay, there you go. Amador. All right. The California station. The California stations are weak because it's the 40-meter band that's gone long. Wow, 792. And we can't even hear the station in California.
Okay, thank you. Kilo 5 Tango Radio.
And he's in Texas. What do you think he's running? 1,500 watts? Rob is saying, wait a minute, Texas. And I think I've heard that call before. He's probably got... He's probably got 5 over 5 on 40. This is 7.231. Let me put up the S-meter here since I got it. This is 7231 and a half. All right, let me dial down. But he's at 700. That's not too bad. I don't think anybody. He's like the only station on.
Radio 4 Lima in Tennessee, calling CQ, California.
Here we go. Robert and Teresa, you still listening? Here's Tennessee at 7248, looking for California.
CQ, California. November Radio 4 Lima in Tennessee, calling CQ, California.
Nice call, by the way. That is a good signal.
California, November Radio 4 Lima in Tennessee, calling CQ, California.
See if we can hear anybody coming back to him.
CQ, California, November Radio 4 Lima in Tennessee, calling CQ, California.
I kind of want to hear what number she's at when she gets a contact. There's somebody.
Alpha Echo 6 again. What was the number?
We just can't hear the California stations.
Thanks for the contact. You are number 490 in Tennessee.
490. All right, heading up to 500. That's a lot of work. Logging all that stuff.
November Radio 4 Lima.
Hey, Foxman, there you go. We got conditions your way on 40 meters.
CQ, California, November Radio 4 Lima in Tennessee, calling CQ, California.
MX120. Let me go back to the controller for just a second. Thank you for the. Thank you for asking. The Optimod is right there. It's a TV version. I'm not running it. It's out of the chain right now. It's like an HF, but it doesn't have. It's only 2-band. So what you're seeing in the chain is that. And so, and the Trio, I've got similar to that. So let me give you the quick air chain so we don't bore everybody. AKG microphonium, the C60 bass with the shotgun microphonium into the PreSonus 32 with a little bit of EQ, a lot of EQ actually. I don't think I'm doing compression limiting, but that's the distribution. So we're going in, get the phantom power supply. Next thing it does is it goes into the Wheatstone. Where is it? Wheatstone AM55. They don't make any more, but you can look that up. Wheatstone AM55. That the distribution that goes direct. What you hear, what you're hearing, is out of the AM55, and I've got it conservative, 5-band, multi-band compression. Then that goes into the Aphex. It's up the top. The Lexicon PCM70. And you probably can't hear it because I got it turned down. That's for the psychoacoustics, and that takes a stereo feed out, even though we're not stereo, but if I'm doing production. Out of that, it comes into the Aphex, an old Aphex Dominator 700. Let's see if you can hear that. 667. Hear that? 667. All right, so that's what that's doing. Out of the Dominator, stereo goes into the Wheatstone 532, MP532. Look that up. That is like your Optimod Trio. In fact, Trio is brand new. This is a couple years old. So the Wheatstone MP532, just like your Optimod Trio, because it does AM, FM, and the HD stream. I have found that for hammy radio and this stuff, I use it on the AM setting because it has an NRSC. And if I'm running a wideband radio, like an Anon or the Voodoo mod, and it's at 6 or 10K, I will do the limiting rather than the filter in the radio. I will use the NRSC curves in the 532. 532 comes out back into the 32, and it's distributed either into the Voodoo radio it's got a Jensen ISO in it, or I've got the Jensen ISOMAX transformer and into the radio up here. So sorry that took longer than I thought, but that is the air chain. And how do you like the Trio? I saw them in NAB, and they're a little bit nicer on the front, but they do about the same thing as the 532. So good deal. You can always tell, especially the guys that are running Flexes and the Anons, when they're using an Optimod or the Wheatstone or something like that. Just nice audio with no distortion. So yes, we are doing a fair bit of processing, but I've got everything backed down. Everything is below. Although on AM I run a lot more. On sideband I do a lot less. So I got a lot more compression on AM, so I can turn.
November Radio 4 Lima in Tennessee, calling CQ, California.
She's getting loud. Let me go back to the. Let me go back to the S-meter. That is a loud station. 7248. Let's see what else we got. So the band is super long tonight. All right, and I'll get out of here. There's somebody backscatter, so that's probably in California. Yeah, it's a 6 call. See, everybody in California sounds like backscatter. See who picks them up. I wonder where they're at. Trying to get his county. I guess I could look. Amador. Okay, that's up north. That's up near Lassen County, so California stations are out. One more and then I'll get out of here. Can't believe that Tennessee station, though.
California QSO party, looking for stations in California only. Kilowatt Lima 5, Delta X-ray. Kilowatt Lima 5,
Whoa.
Delta X-ray, Cal QSO party.
Kilowatt Lima 5? Alaska?
CQ California QSO party, looking for stations in California only. Kilowatt Lima 5, Delta X-ray. Kilowatt Lima 5, Delta X-ray, Cal QSO party.
That's 7235 and a half.
California QSO party, looking for stations in California only. Kilowatt Lima 5, Delta X-ray. Kilowatt Lima 5, Delta X-ray, Cal QSO party.
Yeah, so MX120, you are hearing just the AM55. I found when I ran the AM55 and the 532 and put it for the internet stream, it was too much, even, backed off. So the AM55, just barely tickling everything, does a great job. And then I run that into the 532, again, just barely tickling everything, especially for sideband. Don't overdo the clipper. And I can't tell you how much 160 dumping I am doing between the PreSonus and everything else. Just a ton of 160 dump. All right. I'm waiting for him to give his number whenever this guy's at. And then the radio is direct AF out of the radio into the PreSonus and then directly into the Universal Media Network. I might be doing a little bit of compression, very little, a little bit of noise reduction, very little, and then probably rolling off below 60 hertz and above like 8 kilohertz, just for the audio stream. This guy's going to give up. Where's California? Come on, you guys. I know, everybody's saying, I should get in there and give a contact. If you give too many, you got to do a log. I'm just worried. I'm not going to do a log. So. All right, well, there you go. I'm not a contester, but the Cal QSL party is funny because the people are actually looking for you because you're in California.
96, Tennessee.
7278, 7247.8. Where are you, Foxman? Tennessee rocks tonight. I don't think I've ever heard Tennessee that strong on 40 meters at night. And she's got good audio. It's not over-processed.
You're a solid 5'9", almost to 10 over here in Tennessee.
I'm not quite on her frequency, though.
73 QRZ,
There you
November
go.
Radio for Lima.
Got it tuned in now. And MX120, I really like, I've tried the PR40, which I like, the RE27ND, which I like. I've got a Sennheiser 421, which I like. And this AKG, which is, it's a 30-year-old microphone. I had the standard.
You are 496 into Tennessee.
Oh, she's going to make 500. The standard unidirectional capsule was just too much. It just, you know how condenser microphones are. This is a condenser. When I put on the shotgun head, it just smoothed everything out. And it helps with the room noise. So I've been using the shotgun mic on the AKG, but other than that, the RE27ND works really well, and you can't beat a PR40. So, and I'm sure I could put a really cheap microphone and probably still sound good at 3K. Good night, everybody. Thanks for joining us, the Old Tube Radio Network.
QSL, and am I your first contact today? QSL on number 12 in San Francisco. I thank you for your patience.
I love it. You can't hear San Francisco, but Tennessee is rocking the house. As they fade in the distance, time for some Ovaltine. Oh, she's gonna take a break before she makes 500.